Hey guys, here we go into a killer video on Tony Jeffries, Is This Good Coaching? Now we're going to be talking about turning your punches over. We're going to talk about stepping with your punches. We're going to be talking about the pendulum right hand. We're going to be talking about defense. We're going to be talking about Tony Jeffries' overall boxing theory plus technique, how they fit together, and how they all make him look really silly. So first off, Tony Jeffries kind of follows my channel, and every time I put out some content, he'll put out some similar content. Okay, here's the one example real quick. A couple months ago, Gennady Golovkin knocked out Zarametra, and I made a video about the punch he used to do it, the pendulum right hand. 1 day later or 2 days later or whatever, Tony Jeffries is making this video, the hardest punch ever! And he gives a pendulum right hand, okay? So he's going to get his weight to the front foot. He's going to jump off his front foot, bring his back leg with him, shuffle forward, and then bring his weight into the right hand, right? So it's a way of combining two weight transitions into one attack, okay? Let me open my camera real quick. And the root of this move is the pendulum step, okay? So first off, anytime you move forward or backwards in the line like this, boom, boom, you're using a pendulum step. You might just not know it, okay? So as I take this step with my back leg, my weight is going to be coming from my front leg and moving to my back leg, right? So I'm going to be moving my weight backwards as I take this step forward, right? So now I can take this step forward, right, as I push with my back leg, and it will do the pendulum for me, okay? I don't actually have to take a step with my back leg to achieve that motion, right? Getting your weight into your punch, right? I can just go like this. I don't have to go all the way forward, right? Just like that. But what happens is when you cover distance with this move, right? I'm going to go forward here, and now I'm going to pendulum forward, and I can cover 4 or 5 feet easy, right? But I get my head into this position, and then you have to pendulum forward, right? But it looks very similar to just this motion, right? As I rock my weight back, but I can do this going backwards too, right? Shooting my right hand, my leg comes off the ground, right? But I don't have to take a step, okay? But this motion, right? If I take a step back to the back foot, right? The root of that motion is still the pendulum step, okay? And the way that our hips work and our, the rotation and all that stuff. But the root of this motion, right? When you step with your punch, right? Or you take a step off the line or on the line, is still going to be mechanically using the pendulum motion. Now, the reason that this is important, we're going to talk about a few different things. But first, actually, we're going to get to the one that made me actually make the video. So I put this video out here a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, and it's about how to train the pendulum right hand. So you take a step, and you control the bag, right? I use these words verbatim. Control, right? And then you're going to throw a punch, okay? One of the keys, you're going to take a step, get your weight in your heel, okay? Very important that you do it in your heel. Otherwise, you won't be able to transition your weight. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about that later, okay? But as I take a step and I can open up, right? It's a big pendulum shot. I hit the bag and the bag starts moving, okay? And you're going to allow the bag to move and you're going to use the momentum of the bag to help you generate power, right? But that's not all that moving the bag does, okay? Moving the bag also helps you change positions. It helps you move around the ring. And you want to get good at all those things because that's what you have to do in the ring, right? So, Tony Jeffries put out a video a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, or a couple hours ago. Man, I'm all like torn up. I'm all messed up. About how to control the heavy bag and how to do whatever, you know. It's, to be honest, most of it's crap, okay? It's crap. It's just, it doesn't make any sense, okay? We're not going to regurgitate all of this stuff and then teach you all my theories about heavy bag and stuff, because that's not what this video is. But this is what this is, okay? Here's Manny Pacquiao hitting the heavy bag, okay? That bag is moving all over the place. He's not stopping it. He's moving around it, okay? Look at how much space there is around this heavy bag. This is one of the best placed heavy bags I've seen in any gym anywhere, okay? There's so much space for him to pivot and move and pendulum step around it and to move around, throw hard punches, get angles, and work the bag, okay? And not just stay in one position and practice your striking, right? Now, I do want to say, that there's a lot of value to be had in hitting the bag when it's sitting there and just practicing your straight 1-2s, right? Or your 2-3s, right? Simple combinations where it doesn't matter. You don't want the bag to move. You just want to get a good weight transition, right? And you're going to practice your striking, okay? Striking is different than boxing, okay? Understanding that when you apply movement and head movement and slipping and rolling and pendulum steps and circling, that the dynamics of all your punches are going to change and the way that you throw them is going to change. But that will not ever happen for you if you don't learn to hit the heavy bag while it's moving, okay? This is an extremely integral part of becoming a good fighter, is hitting the bag while it is moving, okay? Don't let anyone in the world tell you differently, because if they try, it just means that they don't know shit about boxing. Okay? This is a very, very important part, okay? So, not to get like too serious, but seriously though, allow the bag to move. Move around with the bag, okay? Now, Tony Jeffries makes a point in the video to say that if you do this, if you let the bag move this way, the bag will be controlling you, okay? Yes, in the beginning, when you are learning the rhythms and the patterns of the bag and how the bag reacts to your punches, right? How you control it when you punch it and move it around, right? But once you know those patterns, you're going to be able to use what you know about the bag to hit it and move it around how you want it to, okay? How you want it to. Now, this is a little short-sighted on my part, but I should have actually gone to the video. There's some videos of Devin Haney and Tank Davis, most notably recently, hitting the uppercut bags, right? And you can do this on any bag. I have a heavy bag video in my Patreon that I show this drill with the regular standing bag. But you just hit the bag, you push it off to one side, and then you hit it with a hard shot. And then as the bag comes back and swings back the other way, you use a pendulum step to follow it, and then you hit it with another hard shot. And then it's at the end of the line, and it swings back. And then they follow it and hit again, and they just keep doing, and this is just an excellent drill, okay? That's a striking drill, right? If you want it boxing, you want that thing spinning. But anyway, there are just many, many, many things to be learned from that. And understanding that when you hit the bag, boom, and you get it to that end, you are controlling the bag with your punches. And Devin Haney can make that bag move, bah, hit it here, and know exactly how long it takes to get back this way so he can set up the movement, right? I'll show you like a little bit of what the pattern looks like. But as you get the bag swinging, right, it goes this way, boom, bah. And now it's going to swing back this way. 1, 2, 3, bah. 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 And you just follow the bag, right? Or you don't do one step, right? And as the bag swings this way, boom, whack, right? This is my heavy bag drill, right? This is the one from my Day One Boxing Patreon, right? It's similar to the Marvin Cook striking theory, how he thinks that if you're going to shoot a 1, right, you're going to shoot 1, and shoot your 2 like that, jump all the way. He doesn't realize that you can just not take the step, transfer your weight. Anyway, but it's a very similar drill, okay? But you can do it with straight punches, right, or you can do it with rounded punches. Anyway, it's a striking drill. It's also very important to move the bag around and follow it, right? Move around, here's the bag, boom, hit the bag, pop, right? It's falling, moving around, you're circling with the bag, you can follow it, pendulum with it, whatever it is that you're going to be doing. But it's extremely important that you learn how to do that on the heavy bag, on a heavy bag that's moving. You know why? Do you know why, you guys? Because when you actually fight someone, they're not going to sit on the center line and wait for you to throw punches at them. They're not going to be in this position. You don't just get to practice your striking against your opponent and just throw punches. Now, we have a lot of things to unpack here. And the first thing that we're going to be talking about is flat-footed or not flat-footed, right? Now, Tony Jeffries has a video on his channel about being flat-footed. We're not going to do this one yet. Or being on the balls of your foot. Oh no, I don't have the videos open. Are you kidding me? Am I an idiot? Because this is not the right one, right? Okay, this is the right one. So here he is saying that he's going to get lots of power punching the heavy bag flat-footed. Notice when he throws this punch, his heel is up. That's not flat-footed. Not flat-footed, not flat-footed, not flat-footed, not flat-footed, okay? And he's saying that he's going to be generating a lot of power because they're not flat-footed, right? Well, number one, he is not flat. He is flat-footed and not flat-footed, right? What he's doing is correct. He's going from one side of the line to the other, transferring his weight, right? Boom. This is decent. This is decent technique here, okay? And then he throws the left hand. He doesn't actually transfer his weight. He tries to here. Notice his heel is up. His heel is up. He's not flat-footed, right? Even though this is supposed to be a flat-footed demonstration, okay? There you go. This is not too bad, right? This hook, even though it's to the body, gets his head all the way to the back foot, kinda. Here.
Flat-footed, as you can see, I'm generating a lot of power, right? Flat-footed, as you can see, I'm generating a lot of power, right?
Trying to say that he's flat-footed and he's generating a lot of power. So let's talk and unpack some of this heavy bag work, okay? Where should you be with each of these punches, okay? Well, first, let's take a look at another clip. Here he is trying to do the same thing, and he actually is being flat-footed here, right? Now, this is a really good example. He's going to throw a bunch of hooks here, right, or uppercuts, boom, 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 and then bring his weight to the back foot, right? Boom, 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 right? Now, I want you to pay attention here, okay? When his feet are flat, boom, he's throwing the neutral punches, okay? The ones that aren't going to really be turning his weight over, but his feet can be flat for this, right? Now, when he wants to throw that final hook, he needs to turn it over, okay? So we're going to take a look at what that looks like. We just saw it a second ago. But notice, his feet are much more flat when he throws the regular uppercuts, and then when he finishes it, his weight and his heel is off the ground here, but not here, right? See how it's neutral, neutral, neutral? And then he transfers his weight, right? So, we're going to go to the other video real quick, or the other video highlights real quick. Not the actual videos, but here he is with throwing his left hook from that video, okay? I don't know if you guys got to see that or not, but you can see it in this frame. See how his hand is like this? Okay, very important, okay? We're going to take a look at that. Let's take a look at this. He says, whatever you prefer. This is him deciding whether or not you should turn it over, right? Turn your hook over, or you should hit like this, okay? And then thumb up has less rotation on the shoulder, wrist, and shoulder, right? Hope you guys can see that stuff. I don't know if it's actually getting blocked or not. So, thumb up has less rotation on the wrist and shoulder. Okay, well, we're going to talk about why that is in a second. And then this last one, whatever the position, weight transfer is important, okay? So those are all his rules, right? For which one is better, which one is this, and which one is that. And we're talking about the position of the hands when you punch and the position of the feet, okay? Pros and cons and, all that stuff. He doesn't even know the difference between being flat-footed or not. But we're going to be talking about it and breaking it down. And real quick, actually, I want you to keep this in the back of your mind too here. We're going to be looking at two real quick things, real quick. Number one, this is him stepping with his punches, throwing a right hand, okay? I want you to see that his hand is straight up, okay? His knuckles are straight up. That means he's not turning the punch over, okay? Then we're going to be looking at Canelo throw that same punch. I think he throws it here. Kinda. Not that one. We're going to look at it in this one. Boom. And you can see that he turns his punch over, right? But also, well, we're going to get to it, but look at his position one. Heel, knee, head, right? And then, right? Heel, knee. Where's his head? How high is he? He's not turning this punch over, okay? So now we're going to connect the dots on what all that means, okay? So if I'm in my boxing stance, and I throw a jab, and I don't want to change positions, right? So think about this is going to be the center line, or my center line. Here's my neutral one. Here's my neutral two. Here's my position two. here's my position 1, okay? When I'm in position 1, my weight is centered on my heel on the front foot, okay? So if my weight is on the heel on the front foot, and there's not a lot of weight on the ball of my front foot, the weight on the ball of my foot is the weight on my back foot is gonna be on the ball of my back foot, okay? And now I'm free to transition my weight from the front foot to the back foot to the heel, okay? Now if I'm here in the neutral 1 zone, right? Not here, but I'm here, my head is just a little bit to the left of the line, right? Maybe I want to get a peek over here. Hey, what's up, bro? What do you think? Huh? What? And I want to get a look at him, right? My weight is going to be kind of neutral, right? Let me go ahead and move the camera down a little bit. My weight is going to be kind of neutral, okay? God damn it. Dojo, you have failed me. So, my weight is going to be kind of neutral, okay? My feet are both flat on the ground, right? Forgive the boots, but they're flat. Now, my neutral too, right? Say my opponent's getting comfortable throwing jabs at me, right? And I don't want to be on the front foot. I kind of want to be coming forward on the back, right? Because I want to be able to slip, right? Pull counter, right? Or come over the top. But I want him jabbing at my back foot, right? Because if he's throwing jabs, he's got to have a good one here, and he's going to be able to get safety because he's throwing it to my front foot. It's going to be much harder for him to throw the jab to my back foot. So I'm going to come forward, maybe get my hand up. But my weight here, again, when I'm here in this position, right, kind of on the back foot, but not that much. My feet are flat, okay? Now when I get all the way to the back foot, okay, it's not a lot, right? But I want to get down, right? Bring my weight down into that punch, sink my weight in. Think Canelo making his lines, right? If you look at me here, neutral, position 1, neutral, right? Position 1. See how there's a much more succinct line between my heel, my knee, and my head, and my ability to transition my weight. So as I get to the back half of my line, the weight's going to be in my heel here. The weight's going to be on the ball of my foot here. And I know that it's reversed. I'm sorry, I got to fix this somehow. I don't know how to do it. But as I'm doing this, or as I'm in these positions, this is how my weight is going to distribute, okay? So how does this affect my punches? Well, as we saw Tony Jeffries showing an excellent example of him jumping on his front foot and then shooting a right hand, okay? But notice, he doesn't crouch down and really transfer his weight to the front foot, and he doesn't turn his punch over, okay? When you throw a straight punch, right, tap, tap, you're not really turning your weight over, okay? Or not really turning your punches over all the time, okay? You can. It takes a little bit more effort and practice to learn and do it well, which is fine. You're supposed to be practicing and getting good and learning to do this very well. But when you do turn it over, okay, if I throw a straight punch and I leave my knuckles up, right, tap, my head is up on the line, right? If my thumb is up, my shoulder is going to be up, which means my head can't be down here, right? But if I turn that shot over, now my head is on the back foot, okay? If I turn my hook, boom, and I turn my hook over, now my head is on the back foot. If I throw a straight right hand and I don't turn it over, I'm just moving my weight straight into the line, straight, right? I can throw that hard straight punch, but my head is not getting off the line, right? Right? But I'm stuck here on the line. If I want to get my head to the front foot, I have to turn that shot over, right? I can't have my shoulder be pushed up because my hand is up, because my thumb is up, my head is popped up, right? I have to be able to turn that shot over in order to get my weight off the line, okay? So, when I get my head all the way off the line, remember, my heel is catching my weight on the back foot to drive it forward, which means that the only time I'm really going to be turning my punches over is when I get all the way into position 1 or to position 2. Kind of. Remember the heavy bag drill that I was telling you about, where the bag's got to be moving around in order for you to figure out the actual angles of your punches and turning them over and all that stuff? Well, that's how you're going to change that real-time power into being able to turn your punches over. Again, Tony Jeffries doesn't hit the bag when it swings. He doesn't move it around and give different angles. He doesn't allow the bag to swing into him and drive his power because he's afraid he's going to hold his hands. Again, he's not a real fighter, okay? If you throw your punches correctly, and that's what you spend, so much time practicing your technique for, you're not going to hurt yourself when the bag is moving because that's what you've been practicing to do, is hit a moving target. Like, seriously, like, isn't that like, seriously, like, that's what you practice every day to do. And this one is slow. Anyway, just fucking mind-blowing. Apologize for the language, but Jesus. So, the next part, right? We also notice when he throws his hook, he doesn't turn the punch over. He specifically teaches it like this, okay? He says it in his video. He prefers this one, the kind of slapping version. He even understands that there's no power in it because it's a slap, okay? This is because, again, he doesn't turn his punches over, right? Notice when he was throwing it and kind of turning it over, you can see his heel is coming up, but it's only more that his leg is getting off the ground because he doesn't have good technique. So he can't get in this seated position and drive his weight through the bag with a punch. He has to slap it, okay? And again, it's just poor punch technique because he doesn't practice using the heavy bag any other way than going 1-2 or slap, 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 right? Without transitioning his weight, without changing positions, right? The three most important things to a good punch: crossing the line, right? Transferring your weight, going from one side, heel, to the other side, heel, and changing positions. Bringing your shoulder forward, bringing your hip forward, bringing your knee, being on the ball of the foot, allowing that weight to sink into that heel. The three most important parts of landing or throwing a good punch, okay? But he doesn't do those things. And he doesn't know how to learn how to do those things because all he does is stand in front of the heavy bag like this. So now, we're going to talk about the next piece, right? So again, neutral, 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 right? My hands can be here. Turn it over. Turn it over, right? Boom, 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 boom. Turn it over. Boom, 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 boom. Turn it over. Move around the heavy bag. Move the heavy bag around. You move around. Because these are all things that are going to be encountered in the real fight, in a fight with someone who's not a heavy bag, right? So now, we're going to take a look at the next piece, okay? And again, a little bit more proof that he just stole this idea from my channel. We're going to connect the ideas, or the dots. But he has this video of the hardest punch, okay? It came out just after I made my Golovkin video. And he decided that he wanted to remain relevant and whatever. So he came out with this little drill video. The way that he teaches this punch, okay, is you're going to be bringing your back foot forward first, okay? Now, that's kind of true, right? He's neglecting the fact that you're going to be putting all your weight on your front foot first so that you can get the weight on off of your back leg so you can move it forward, which is going to move your head forward, right? And then you're going to shuffle forward, right? Now, I want you to take a look at his step here. He's stepping on the ball of his foot here, right? And now we're going to take a look at a step as he lands with the ball of his foot here, okay? Whoops. Boop. Ball, 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 punch, right? He gets it kind of turned over, like a little bit, but not nearly as much as Canelo, right? It's a little bit. He's a right-handed fighter. It should be turned over all the time, right? He's also still on the line, okay? Now, his head never really moves positions. It doesn't really get off the line, yada, yada, yada. But we're going to take a look at how you actually do this technique, okay? And what I want you to remember is that when you change positions and you cross a line and you move or you slip or you do a move, that sends your weight to one side of your body or to the other. Remember, when we take a step with our left, even if we don't move our right, our weight shifts. If we take a step, vice versa. So as we watch Canelo, he's going to be performing this move here against Billy Joe Saunders. He's going to be taking steps on the heel of his foot. Now watch it before he lands. He's shooting his left hand out. He's taking a step. All of his weight right now is on the back foot, okay? Transferring his weight, and this allows him to get the weight into his heel and come forward with this right hand, okay? An excellent, excellent punch there. Now we're going to take a look at him doing it with the left hand. He's coming forward. Look at him come forward as he walks forward on his heel, okay? Comes forward, takes a step inside, lands with his heel, right? Strikes the body. Misses the shot, who cares? That's how he throws the technique, okay? Here's the last one. Canelo coming forward. Look at him transfer his weight to the back foot. Look at how bent this knee is. Look at how bent this leg is. Look at how bent this hip is. Look at how much power he has to drive forward. Look at how he's stepping with his heel, okay? Very, very important technique if you want to be able to get your weight into this punch and then turn it over, okay? Now, let's see. Here is a quick video of him, how to move, right? Land on your toes when moving, right? Here he is doing that similar motion, trying to go forward, look like a pro, right? On the balls of your feet, right? A little bit of head movement, right? But I want you to pay attention to the head movement real quick. He can't really get his way to the front foot because he can't get his heels down, right? Look at him hopping when he gets off the line, right? Front foot, back foot, and he has to hop. He can't come back up. I mean, I know he's on the edge. Like, I don't want to give him too much shit, okay? I'll give him a pass on it. That's just for fun, whatever. But it highlights his boxing theory, okay? And we can clearly see that he thinks that this is the most powerful punch in boxing. He made a video about it. He has no idea how to do it, right? And he can't do it correctly because he doesn't actually get the weight into his heels, right? So now we're going to connect the idea to him teaching how to step with your punches, okay? And how to hit the heavy bat. And I want you to pay attention to the fact that, again, he doesn't turn his punches over, but I want you to look at the footwork here, okay? Right here, he's going to take that same motion forward, okay? The way that he teaches to do that move is to bring the back leg forward and then shoot forward and punch, right? So here he is, going to be bringing his back leg forward, just like that, and then he jumps forward to shoot his 1-2. Now, the footwork is exactly the same as he teaches right here. Watch his back leg come forward, boop, jumps forward, pushes, throws the right hand. But in that video, he's just teaching you to be stepping with your punches, right? It's not about the pendulum shift or the pendulum step or that motion where you rock your weight, you shoot back, and then you come forward with the right hand, right? But he doesn't understand that he's trying to teach the most powerful punch in the world, but he's also teaching you to do it the same exact way that he teaches you to be throwing your quick on your toes punches, right? Because these are on your toes punches. He's not turning them over, but he's using the same exact technique. Except if you add the idea that when you transition your weight, you're supposed to catch your weight in your heels and not be on the balls of your foot the whole time, it's going to fix the technique, right? Now, let's see. How do I want to say this part? Well, let's go look back at this stuff here. So whichever you prefer, right? That was his, okay. And now, the idea about the hook, right? Getting back to the hook. When he throws his hook, he's landing here. He's not turning it over, okay? It's not whatever you prefer here or like thumb in, up, or in, right? It's really whether or not you're going to throw a combination or you're going to end your punches there, right? If you're going to throw a combination, you don't want to go all the way back the line, all the way back here, boom, and then come forward. You'll be a little slow. You want to go tap, tap, right? Into the line with the hook, off the line with the right hand, right? Boom, and then turn it over so you can get your weight to the front foot, right? So if you're not going to be throwing a combination with your hook, right, you want to turn it over and get your head off the line, okay? So one of the ideas for defense, right? Now, another idea that he likes to talk about is always being on your toes, right? It's always this motion. But when you step here, again, you shoot your weight with that pendulum step, right? Weight back, right? Boom. He also says that the best defense, again, is taking a step off the line, okay? Now, if you put all of these things together, right? Not only have we shown here that he doesn't actually know what the most powerful punch in boxing, how to throw it, right? The pendulum right hand, weight here, here, because he catches himself on the balls of his foot at each position, right? Boom, 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 right hand. We can see he doesn't really turn it over, okay? But he's not getting his weight into the punch. He doesn't know how to throw it. And how do you want to say this? His preferred technique is always on the balls of your feet. But his preferred technique is always stepping off the line, okay? Now, the idea that I want to present to you is that he understands that that's the most powerful right hand you're going to throw in all of boxing. It's the most powerful punch in boxing. Not his. He rightly admits he doesn't know how to throw it, right? That he doesn't admit that he just copied my channel and was like, oh, what can I teach here? Because he's a fan of my channel. Even though he always tries to call me out for throwing wide punches, or in this video saying he looks like whatever he said about me hitting the heavy bag, you know, oh, I look so hot, you know, whatever, trying to make fun of me. Yeah. I hope you like this video, bro. But, so he doesn't understand that move. We know he doesn't know how to throw it. His most efficient defense is taking a step off the line. Now, if you put all that shit together, what do we learn? Well, number one, he knows about this punch, right? But he doesn't know why you would use it, okay? And the reason that you want to use this punch, right, is if your opponent is leaving the line and just taking a step away from you, okay? Especially one who thinks that they're going to be on the balls of their feet the whole time and get away from you for free, right? Oh, I just move off the line, it's easy, okay? But this move, 1, 2, pendulum, right hand, is used to catch people who pendulum off the line. And again, he doesn't understand the fact that if I'm going to be taking a step to the back foot or step off the line, I need to transfer my weight to the back foot and then pendulum to shoot my leg out, right? Or push off with this leg, which pendulums me off the line, right? The motion, even though it's different, it's very similar, right? So that idea is, it takes you one-way transition, two-way transitions, right? Instead of it being 1, 2, right? It's 1, 2, okay? But this motion, 1, 2, is the same amount of beats, but I can cover so much more ground, right? Now, as you take a step off the line, oh, he's coming. And now I come here, I'm going to meet you on that line, and you're going to be stuck in this position standing straight up, right? But that move is used specifically to catch people like that. So let's take a look at one of the very many recent examples of this, okay? We've seen it every single week. Joshua Buatsi caught his opponent with this in the second round. The same move, right? Penduluming on his opponent who pendulums off the line. Now, as we can see, Joseph Parker is going from, he's going to be penduluming forward, penduluming backwards by transferring his weight forward. You can see his weight shifting. He's about to land on his front left leg. But Derek Chisora is doing the same move, but he has better technique, okay? Look at his weight transfer all the way to the back foot. Look at how his head is heel, knee, head. Kinda, right? He's much more off the back of his line, whereas Parker is much more in the center of his line, okay? Not only does this give him an opportunity to put his head in a position that's more opportune to bait punches, but it's going to allow him to generate power as he crosses the line, as he transitions his weight through his heel. Now let's watch him take that step. Where does his weight end? In his heel. Look at where his hand is controlling Joseph Parker's head. Comes down. Now look at, because Joseph Parker is expecting his head to be all the way at this end of his line, he's throwing this hook here. Again, Joseph Parker is also not turning his punch over. He's not getting his weight to his back foot, okay? All of these mechanics prevent him from being able to really get his weight down here. Again, look at him on the ball of his foot, right? Only his toes are touching. He has no ability to get his weight to the back foot, right? No ability, and he gets cracked by this pendulum right hand, okay? Again, all these mechanics, right? Now, so what does that mean, okay? Now, not only does he not know how to throw the punch, not only does he not know what it's used for, right? But his best defense in all of boxing, because he doesn't even know how to transition his weight at all to one foot or the other, is taking a step off the line. And as we can see there, we have the easiest way to take advantage of it. One simple pendulum step, right? Anyway, not to shit on Tony Jeffries' fitness channel because it's not real boxing, right? If you look at all of his technique and all of his understanding of boxing, you don't come to the conclusion that he has an actually formulated boxing theory, a way to put together all of the things that he teaches to actually create a fighter, okay? And that's what's important, right? And you want to kind of keep ironing out your technique and ironing out your stuff, just like Coach Anthony is doing, right? As he's a member of my Patreon. Same as Tom Yankello, both of them members of my Patreon. Precision striking, and that as they add to their stuff, ways to like learn boxing and stuff and become better fighters themselves or whatever. But we're always constantly evolving and growing, and I'm sure he'll see this video and he'll make a lot of adjustments. And maybe he'll stop trying to poke at me when in his videos about punch technique and stuff, when the guy can't throw a power punch to save his life. He can't get his head off the line to save his life. Maybe that's why he's not a pro. Now, I know all you guys want to talk shit or you think I'm scared of Tony Jeffries or whatever, but if you guys stayed here this long, I appreciate it. Thank you. Tony Jeffries, if you want to get in the ring with me, I'm not far away. I'm in San Diego. One of your guys actually came to my channel and was talking shit and said that it would be easy to set a fight up between me and you. And that was months ago. And I told him that I was gonna leave your channel alone and I wasn't gonna talk shit and I wasn't gonna make this video and I wasn't gonna do, but he needed to get back to me. Well, it hasn't happened, so I made my video. If you got a problem with anything that I said in here, I'm more than happy to drive up to LA any day and we can handle it, okay? We can figure it out. We're adults. I've got a mouthpiece. I got gloves. I'm pretty sure you got a mouthpiece, right? But anyway, just kidding. Serious though, I'm down. But all jokes aside, all like animosity aside, I really don't think that Tony Jeffries knows shit about boxing.